Once again, the world looks towards a little country about the size of New Jersey in the Middle East. Israel, despite its small size, has a turbulent past, and conflicts in the region hold global significance unlike anywhere else in the world. Reports of violence in this latest war are some of the most gruesome we've heard in many years. This long-standing and complex conflict defies any simple explanation and has caused sharp division throughout the world. But in the midst of this horrific and tragic situation, a report has emerged about a curious situation that is unexpected against this backdrop of inhumane hostility that could only be termed a miracle. If that's something you like to think about, welcome to Check Your Head Stories, where we consider the bright side of things that could be considered quite disturbing with tales of the miraculous, the curious, and oddly beautiful. Let's get to it. Check your head. What do you like to think about? No matter what your stance is about the conflict that's gone on in the Middle East for thousands of years, one thing I think we can all agree upon is the human toll that it has taken has been heartbreaking. Both sides have experienced unimaginable loss, but one of the groups that is helping alleviate some of the human suffering is an underground Christian ministry in Gaza. Early in November of 2023, the ministry began to care for hundreds of men in Gaza who had lost everything. They had lost their families, and most, if not all, of their children had been killed. They washed them, they brought them into safety, they fed them, and they began to read the Bible to them. On November 10th, 2023, Michael Laconia, a scholar and professor at Houston Christian University, made a post on his Facebook page about a report he received from this ministry in Gaza. Laconia reported how the ministry was caring for these men. Then a big miracle happened. Jesus appeared to 200 of the men we were caring for in their dream. They all came back asking what they could do to follow Jesus. 200 men had the same dream on the same night. Jordan Andrews, author and reporter at American Insider, in reporting the story, adds a bit of background. He said that about a month before the October 7th Hamas terrorist attacks, the Assemblies of God News reported that Muslims were having a dream of Jesus and turning to Christ at unprecedented numbers. These two stories are not alone in reporting a phenomenon that has been happening throughout the Muslim world for the past 2 decades. Scholar Abraham Abed El-Messeh, in his article Dreams and Visions Among Muslims, see the link in the description, points out that there's a long-standing traditions of Muslims receiving spiritual guidance from dreams and vision. This isn't just an archaic practice among Muslims, but it's actually current. In a recent survey at the early 21st century among Muslim academics, it was discovered that many believed that they could be guided through dreams and visions, and in fact, many of them had regular rituals before bed so that they might receive this type of divine guidance. He cites that many Muslims who convert to Christianity do so because of the dramatic means of having a dream or a vision. A recent study showed that 40% of all Muslim converts to Christianity do so because of a dream, but empirical evidence indicates that that number is closer to 70%. The question, did you have the dream about the man in white, has become common in underground churches in Syria, Iran, Iraq, and other Muslim nations. They, of course, know this man to be Jesus. He appears to them, explains scripture to them, and sometimes he gives them a vision of someone they're supposed to seek out and find out more about this Jesus. I'm hearing stories of unsuspecting missionaries who are in the marketplace and they're approached by someone with wild eyes saying, "Yes, you're the one. I saw you in the vision. You're the one who's going to tell me more about this Jesus." Books, articles, and anecdotal stories have become commonplace about these types of events. Dick Brogden, noted scholar, author, and entrepreneur, says that these types of experiences have become quite common. And he said it would be accurate to say that Muslims are converting to Christ at unprecedented numbers not seen in 1400 years. I know sharing these stories has the potential to outrage many, whether people don't believe they're true, whether they think that it might be Christian propaganda, whether they might think it's anti-Muslim or anti-Jewish or whatever reason they can come up with. but these stories are being told, and I believe that it's important to share them. As I've been sharing miracle stories, one of the reactions I commonly hear from detractors is that miracles don't solve everything, and that if a miracle could happen, then why would there be a problem in the first place? Maybe God should just solve everything. Maybe God's being neglectful. That's a matter of worldview, blame, philosophy, theology, and whatever else you could think of, and I couldn't begin to answer all those questions, especially not in a several-minute YouTube video. But still, I believe these stories need to be told. And I will say that for a miracle to happen, there needs to be a problem that needs to be solved. And from what I've seen about reports of miracles, they usually rile somebody up. Somebody's usually mad that they don't solve everything. But miracles don't solve everything. But for those who have received miracles, they can become a source of guidance, comfort, and assurance. What's the significance of 200 Muslim men having the exact same dream on the exact same night? They had already lost so much, but now making this decision is going to cause them to lose even more, and yet they do it gladly. I know what I think about that, but I'll let you think about it. And I hope you did like thinking about it, because that's what this channel is all about. So be sure to like and subscribe, because there's more coming up here at Check Your Head Stories.